Check, 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 check. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check, 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 check.
Check, check, check.
Check, check. All right, it's just not coming out of the speaker. So it's going through screen. Going through screen, not through speaker. Check, no, check, mic, check 1 2. Can you hear me? Check, 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 mic, check. Looks like we're on. Yep, sounds good. All right, are ready? Here we go. All right, welcome everyone to our doubleheader today here at PISA. Today we have our zombies taking on Flower City. We're about to get underway. But first, let's announce some of our skaters. Today in the black team, playing for the zombies out of Pittsburgh, we have number 011 Havoc, number 11 Spunky Bruiser, number 1116 Avasaurus Rex, number 1357 Hawk, number 45 Forest Bump, number 54 Captain Crush, number 555 Embolism, number 585 Rad, number 609 Pocket Rocket, number 66 Hebrew, number 703 Abby Normal, number 707 Paul Barrier, number 84 Firestarter, number 909 Meat Shield Mike. I'll announce Flower City after this jam. We have Meat Shield Mike up against Dick Move at the jammer line. We've got a nice tight tripod holding Dick Move at the top of the pack. We've got a nice little pile up here on turn one on the corner. Some run back happening. Dick Move pushing out against a hard 2. They're pushed out of play. Dick Move gets out for lead. We've got Hebrew Jammer going to the box. Meat Shield Mike's out. Oh, Meat Shield Mike gets a penalty. A track cut. Power jam for Flower City. The tripod is rolling hard. It looks like we're getting some passive offense out of Flower City. Here they come with the offense now. No pack call. Pittsburgh is forced to let them go. We've got another blocker. We've got Spunky going to the box for Pittsburgh. Dick Move coming around for another scoring pass. We've got Captain Forrest, a couple of aged up juniors trying to hold back Dick Move. Dick Move decides he's going to call it, facing Meat Shield Mike in the box. Let's go to our Flower City skaters. We've got number 0, Jack Skellington. Number 1116, Fat Jammer. Number 1127, Giles. Number 16, Ammunition. Number 18, The Hammer. Number 21, Astronauty. Number 24, King Killa. Number 35, Rocky. Number 420, Jackpot. Number 444, Jugbug. Number 48, Oxenfree. Number 69, Shram. Number 77, Dick Move. And number 91, El Pollo Loco. We've got Astronauty jamming now. Meat Shield Mike released from the box, coming in on his initial pass. Astronauty pushing hard up to the top of the pack. Gets out to the front, gets lead. Meat Shield Mike getting some offensive help from his players. Oh, but not before King Killa can catch him into the inside line. Astronaut is coming around for his scoring pass. Meat Shield Mike gets out on his initial. Astronaut is going to take those points and call off the jam. Looks like Flower City picks up 3 on that jam. Scores 11-0, Flower City. Now we've got Havoc on the line up against El Pollo Loco. El Pollo Loco is actually a ref, so that's why it might look familiar to you all. Pittsburgh with a pack advantage, 4-3. Pittsburgh taking the top and forcing Flower City to the back of the pack. We got Paul Barrier sitting hard on El Pollo Loco. He's pushing hard. This tripod is forming very well, holding El Pollo Loco. Good defensive scrum right in the first straightaway. El Pollo Loco with a burst of speed, finding a lane on the outside. Out for lead. Havoc out not far after. Pittsburgh's racing to the top of the pack, trying to stay out in front of that offense. Looks like Pittsburgh's going to make their stand right here at the end of the second straight. Pollo Loco calls it off. Was able to pick up 1 point on that jam. But not here. We've got Avasaurus Rex on the line here versus number 420 Jackpot. Jackpot getting drawn back, but we've got Rad who got a penalty on that. So we have a blocker advantage to Flower City right now. They're holding hard on the inside line. Pittsburgh holding hard on the inside line. Avasaurus Rex coming out to the front of the pack. Looks like it's going to be no pass, no penalty? Question mark? All right. This means the Jackpot has gotten lead. Looks like we ended that jam with a 0-0. Coming out to the line, we have Dick Move again, matching up against Meat Shield Mike. Looks like we're going to get a quick timeout from the officials. All right, we get the roundup whistle. Looks like we're about to start. Jam is on. We've got Dick Move pushing to the front of the pack against the Pittsburgh tripod, getting a little bit of offensive help from Jack Skellington. Meat Shield Mike moving back and forth in the back of the pack with the Flower City wall. Finding some success moving up here. Meat Shield Mike, unsure whether or not he should continue, decides to go and gets called on a track cut. That gives Dick Move lead jammer status. We've got some pretty aggressive offense from Jack Skellington, getting Dick Move up to the front of the pack. Forrest holding on really well on the turn. Dick Move does get out for 4 points. All right. Dick Move coming around for another scoring pass, getting held up here at the top. We've got Meat Shield Mike trying to get through on his initial. Rad with a nice hit out and run back on Dick Move. Brad said, "Hey, buddy, remember all those years we played together? Well, now I've got a problem to give you." Meat Shield Mike out on his initial pass. Dick Move decides, you know what? I'm going to call it right here and take what I got. That's a total of a 7-point jam, bringing our score to 19-0, Flower City Fear. Each team has a blocker in the box, so we're looking at a 3-on-3 blocker matchup. We have Astronauty versus Avasaurus Rex at the line as a jammer. Avasaurus Rex out for Pittsburgh's first lead, making a little skate adjustment as she passes by there. Coming around, Astronauty still stuck on initial pass. Ava's coming around looking for some points. Gets bopped out by King Killa. Astronauty still forcing his way out of the turn. Facing a very tough tripod here. Avasaurus Rex out for her scoring pass. Ava's getting some instruction from the bench. Looks like Pittsburgh is going to set up some offense for her. She's going to take her points and call it. That puts Pittsburgh on the board with 7 points. Score is now 19-7 in favor of Flower City. Over the course of that jam, we see that Paul Barrier has been sent to the box. So we have another shorthanded start for Pittsburgh. Our jam is on. We have El Pollo Loco jamming for Flower City with Havoc for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh doing a great job of managing the offense from Jack Skellington. Rad with a quick little hit run back. Hawk and Rad fighting together as a 2-wall in the front against El Pollo Loco. Rad with a nice hit out. Havoc, meanwhile, still having a tough time with a tripod in the back. This tripod is doing a really great job of holding out despite being short-handed. Paul Barrier returns from the box to the track. Comes up to play some quick offense for Havoc. Looks like we have a little bit of a spill going on down here. Oh, wow. Still, no lead has been established. This is an incredible defensive work this far into the jam. Oh, and Havoc squeaks out to get lead, finally. After over 55 seconds in that jam, we have lead jammer. Havoc's out for the scoring pass, getting some offensive help from Hawk. Havoc getting instructions from her bench to call it off and takes the 4 points, bringing the Zombies to 11 to Flower City's 19. Zombies having a few jams in a row of success here, tightening the score back up. This might be close for a while. Box is clear. We actually have a full power start on both sides. We've got Jackpot going up against Meat Shield Mike, a little bit of a different jammer matchup this time. Jackpot facing a tough tripod in the back. Meat Shield Mike pushing the Flower City blockers out to the front. Having a tough battle with Shram. Meat Shield Mike finally gets out and gets lead jammer. Hebrew with a nice hit out and run back on Jackpot. Ooh. Looks like there was a little bit of jammer help back there on Diva. Meat Shield Mike goes through for his 4-point scoring pass. Good cycle up by Hebrew jammer. Hebrew with a nice hit out, saving the jammer from getting out. Nice tight tripod. Meat Shield Mike out for another scoring pass. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's defense doing a great job. Star pass completed to King Killa. And And Mike is getting instruction from Tot at the bench to call it off. That was a 12-point jam for the Zombies, taking the lead. It is now 23-19. Just a few good jams where they got lead and they were able to take it back. Looks like we're getting an official timeout called by the scoreboard operator. All right, that whistle will end the timeout. All right. We have Dick move up against Avasaurus Rex. Ava finding a line on the inside. Some great offensive help from Firestarter, allowing her to get out and get lead. Dick move getting a good one-on-one battle versus Paul Barrier. Battle of the big men. Ava in for her scoring pass. Oh, Dick move get a nice little bounce against Paul Barrier. This is a good matchup right here. All right, Ava out for 4 points. Looking at another scoring pass. Dick move getting some one-on-one battle against Firestarter. They're bridged out to the front a lot. Dick move gets out on his initial pass. Ava fighting for some points here, trying to get some additional points. Getting a good offensive play. Calls it off, taking the points and running. She picks up 3 on that scoring pass, bringing that jam total to 7. Score is now 30-19 in favor of Pittsburgh. It looks like we're getting a timeout from Flower City. Taking a second here to regroup and talk things over. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, decided to say hi, Mom, to everyone. Right, that whistle will end our timeout. Penalties box is empty, so we're going to have a full power jam to start. Looks like we've got Astronauty versus Havoc wearing the stars. Pittsburgh takes the front wall. Astronauty working hard against that tripod. Not finding a lot of spaces to move. Oh, now he finds one on the outside. Astronauty gets out on the outside for lead. Havoc still working on the initial pass. Astronauty threw for 4 points. Havoc out just behind. Astronauty coming in to try to get some points. Meets a hard shoulder from Rad. Decides he's going to call it off right there. Does pick up 2 points for his effort, making that a 6-point jam. Flower City closes it up a little bit. 30 points Pittsburgh, 25 Flower City. Looks like we have Pollo Loco to jam for Flower City versus Meat Shield Mike for Pittsburgh. Meat Shield Mike working hard against a 4-wall, getting some help from Spunky playing offense. Meanwhile, we have a Pittsburgh tripod in the back holding El Pollo Loco. Meat Shield Mike is able to work through, taking advantage of that offense, gets out for lead. El Pollo Loco still working hard in the back of that pack while Meat Shield Mike comes back around for his scoring pass. Oh, big tumble. Big tumble, big tumble. We'll take a short timeout here. All right, our skater is up. Big thank you to the medics for taking care of our skaters. Want to make sure everybody has a safe, fun time out here. There's our roundup whistle ending the timeout. Looks like we have Astronauty versus Avasaurus Rex with the star. Ava with a nice slick little move and a tap dance to run down the inside line. Jumps out for lead jammer. Astronauty, meanwhile, still pretty stuck in this pack. Not finding room on the outside. Not finding room on the inside. Runs into Paul Barrier. Meanwhile, Avasaurus Rex pushing the Flower City tripod. Oh, now it's a 4-wall out to the front. They've got to block the puss. Oh. Astronauty finding some line on the some space on the inside line of the turn. Gets out on his initial. Avasaurus getting out on her scoring pass and calling it off, taking 4 points. Bringing Pittsburgh to 34, Flower City 25. A little window. Get a periscope. Next, we have Dick Move on the line versus Ava again. Ava says, you know what? I haven't had enough yet. I would like more. Dick Move with a hard push out to the front of the pack, gets out for lead. Ava, meanwhile, getting run back. The hammer giving Ava some business here. Dick Move through for his scoring pass. Avasaurus Rex still fighting on the initial. Oh, looks like the hammer will be sent to the box with a directional penalty. Both of our jammers slowing down a little bit. Dick Move through for another scoring pass. Avasaurus Rex getting out on her initial. Dick Move coming in to get some more points. Rad coming in out of the box just in time to get in front of Dick Move and prevent that from being a big scoring pass. No points are scored on Dick Move's last pass. Rad went in there and, with a heroic effort, manages to shut down the points. Nice job by Rad. We have a 1-point game. Flower City has managed to close this up in a quick way. 34 Pittsburgh, 33 Flower City. We have Astronauty again at the line for Flower City versus Havoc for Pittsburgh. Havoc getting hit out and run back by Schramm. Astronauty facing a tough tripod on the first turn. Havoc. Oh, Havoc with a big hit out by King Killa. Meanwhile, Astronauty working against the 2-wall up the outside. Hit out and run back a short distance by Hebrew. Both of these defenses working really hard. Some great blocking right here. Some great flowing and butt blocking by Captain Crush and Forrest Bump. Meanwhile, Flower City has got Havoc pinned on the inside of the back of the pack. Schramm gets Havoc run back. Still no lead. With only 50 seconds left in the jam, still no lead has been established. Hebrew goes out. Great work at the top of this pack by Pittsburgh. Astro finally getting out for lead. We have a lead jammer now with 30 seconds remaining in the jam. Astro in for a scoring pass. We have a star pass off to Forrest Bump. Forrest coming around. And the jam comes to its conclusion. Let's see. Astronauty able to pick up 2 points on that in order to take the lead 34-35. We're going to get an official review from Pittsburgh. If I had to guess, my guess is that they're going to review for a cutting call on the outside line. But this is my speculation. I have no greater insight as an announcer. While we're waiting for the conclusion of this official review, I'd like to talk about our officials a little bit. Let's hear it for our officials for today's bout. We have Cheshire Stats, Filet Official, Atomic Annie, General Helativity, Cheshire Stats again because, twice as many stats. Frenchie, Honcho, D-Ray, Jam Burglar, Lone Bone, Slingin' Grits, Kitty Black, Shaggy, Senior Wiener, Official Headcase, Mr. Sir Guy, and Hissin' Rage. Uh, General Helativity has so kindly come over to relay that Pittsburgh was looking for a cut call on the white jammer in the last jam. However, they have concluded that it was a no pass, no penalty. The official review will not be retained. Looks like we have Meat Shield Mike up against El Pollo Loco. Meat Shield Mike just putting down some power, getting out for lead. El Pollo Loco also putting some power down, getting out right behind. Meat Shield Mike zipping around the side, takes a bit of a spill and decides to call it off before El Pollo Loco can score any points. For his effort, Mike picks up what appears to be 2 points, 3 points, sorry. And against Flower City 0, Pittsburgh has retaken the lead 37-35. Looks like we might have a barn burner here. Jam is on. It looks like we have Astronauty again out there versus Avasaurus Rex. Both Ava and Astro are former juniors, roughly from the same era as well. So I guess they get to play each other again after all these years. Real defensive struggle this jam for both jammers. Both defensive walls making sure to clog up that turn real good. Neither jammer seeing a lot of space to maneuver. Ava, though, finally finds a space on the outside of turn 2, gets out for lead. Meanwhile, Astro, getting a quick whip around from his teammate, is also out on his initial pass. Quick. Ava looks to grab some quick points and calls it off before Astronaut can come around to score. Let's see what we see for points. Looks like the refs are discussing points. It looks like Ava gets 3 points on that jam, extending the lead a little bit. Pittsburgh 40, Flower City 35. This time we have Dick Move up against Havoc. Dick Move pushing hard against the tripod of Hebrew and M and Captain. Managing to push the tripod out to the front of the pack, but unable to make it fall apart so he can pass through. They're holding strong. Holding strong. Looks like they're going to flip to the back of the pack. Havoc still working hard against the 4 wall in the front. If I'm not mistaken, it appears that perhaps Pittsburgh did not put out enough skaters. I think I see only 3 blockers on the floor and none in the box. Looks like maybe there may have been a little bit of an error that happened in between jams there. Hebrew holding hard against Dick Move until Dick Move pushes Hebrew out of play, gets a lead jammer. Havoc still working on the initial pass. Pittsburgh blockers cycling up to the front, trying to keep it together from that offense from Jack Skellington. Dick Move out for 4 points. Looks like Jack Skellington is headed to the box, evening up the numbers here for between the two teams. Dick Move coming around for another scoring pass. Havoc out on her initial, looking to score if she can get in there in time. But no, Dick Move decides to call it off before Havoc can score. Flower City will start with 1 blocker in the box. Looks like we have Astronauty versus Meat Shield Mike. Astronauty getting plenty of turns with the star so far in this game. Our jam is on. Meat Shield Mike out there taking a big hit from King Killa. King Killa running him back. Astronauty still fighting against a tripod. Oh, looks like Astronauty is going to go to the box with a forearm penalty, leaving Pittsburgh with a power jam. Believe this is Pittsburgh's first power jam of the day. Pittsburgh trying to get some help, push some offense through there, get their jammer out. So far, Flower City defending this power jam very well. Pittsburgh's deciding to hold a passive line while they've got a blocker back there, getting ready for the jammer to get in. Meat Shield Mike pushes out to the front, gets lead jammer. Astronauty out shortly thereafter. Oh, Meat Shield Mike comes through, gets the points and calls it off. Looks like at the end of that jam, fire starter being sent to the box. Both teams will start one blocker down. Waiting for the points to come in on this jam. Looks like we were able to establish that Pittsburgh got 4 points, making the score 44-39. Still very close with 3 minutes remaining in the half. Here we have Avasaurus versus El Pollo Loco. Looks like Flower City is losing another blocker to the box, giving Ava a 2-blocker defensive wall to go against. El Pollo Loco out on his initial. Avo with 1 to beat towards the front. A nice little sidestep move. Gets those points and calls it off for a quick 4. We have a 9-point game. Oh, look is wearing the star. Everybody is so excited to see Hebrew Jammer again. Resurrect Hebrew Jammer. Let's hear it, everybody, for Hebrew Jammer. Whoa, Hebrew Jammer with some power and force. Look at that quickness. Why did he ever stop jamming? We have to ask. Hebrew Jammer out with lead. Still getting good defensive effort from the tripod. They are blocking hard for him, getting some offensive help from Rad. We got Giles returning from the box. Pittsburgh's defense working really hard up here in the front against Astronauty. Astronauty working, trying to find a spot on the inside line. Meanwhile, Hebrew Jammer keeping the feet pedaling, getting a little help from Forrest Bump. Astronauty getting pinned and taken out to the inside by Rad and Captain. Hebrew Jammer out for some more points. 4 points. Meanwhile, Rad with another hit out and run back. Flower City ends up having Schramm go to the box. Meanwhile, Rad giving Astronauty a hard time. Hebrew Jammer goes through, grabs another 4 points and calls it off. He says, you know what? I like the number 8. That is enough for me. Nice job, Hebrew. Everybody's proud of you. Looks like we're going to have enough time for one more jam in this half. We've got El Pollo Loco up against Havoc. Both jammers bouncing around a lot, trying to find a little space to squeak through. Both defensive walls being very disciplined, making sure not to leave any of those spaces that they're looking for. Havoc getting some help from Firestarter. Schramm being released from the box. Schramm's going to come in and play a little offense, get a little help to his jammer, but Paul sees that coming and says, nope, I'm going to intercept at the outside line. Both defensive walls doing great, working hard, making sure that neither jammer is going to have an easy time getting lead here. Looks like Firestarter trying to hold out at the top. We get against Spunky. Out of play is called. El Pollo Loco is out for lead after 1 minute. El Pollo Loco coming around for scoring pass. Looks like we have a star pass off to Firestarter. Firestarter now is going to attempt to get out on that initial. Looks like Pollo Loco is satisfied with the 2 points, or 3 points rather, and will take them into the half, making our score at halftime 56 Pittsburgh to Flower City's 42. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully, we'll. Hopefully, everybody can hear me down there pretty well. All right, good. I think we made some adjustments that sound good. All right, that whistle ends the intermission. We have Astronauty back out on the line versus Meat Shield Mike. Flower City pressing Pittsburgh's defense against the jammer line. Meat Shield Mike pushing them forward, getting some help from Hebrew. This game so far has been quite a defensive effort by both teams. The Jammers are not having the best time against these tough walls today. Both Jammers struggling again. Man, the defense against of both of these teams is incredible, keeping the score low. Meat Shield Mike pushes his way out all the way through the second straight to get lead. Hebrew with a great defensive move to save Astronauty from getting his initial pass. Meat Shield Mike in for his scoring pass. We have a star pass off to Jack Skellington. Embolism being sent to the box. Meat Shield Mike deciding to call it off. Looks like that is going to be 1 point for Meat Shield Mike's efforts. Next on the line, we have El Pollo Loco versus Avasaurus Rex. Jam is on. El Pollo Loco looking for some space on that outside line, but a great move by Forrest Bump to knock him out, run him back. Buying some time for Ava. Ava's working hard trying to find some space to get up to the front of this pack. Both jammers still working hard against tough defenses. Some great tracking by Captain Crush against El Pollo Loco. Meanwhile, Ava still working hard against Flower City's wall. Shram getting a hit out to the inside. Oxenfree pinching Avasaurus against Shram. Ava finding some space there on the outside, squeaking through, getting lead. Meanwhile, Pollo Loco still working hard in the back against the Pittsburgh four wall. Looks like we might have a star pass to Shram. Shram Jam, Shram Jam, Shram Jam. We got a Shram Jam. Shram having a little bit of a step over Forrest to get out on the initial pass on the inside line. Ava says, you know what? That's fine. I think I'll call it. Ava picks up 3 points, extending the lead to 60 points for Pittsburgh, 42 for Flower City Fear. Now we have Astronauty versus Meat Shield Mike. We have a tight pack bunched up against the jammer start line. Nice little clog right here. Meat Shield Mike hammered out by the hammer. Hammer with a run back looking for a penalty, not getting one. Meat Shield Mike pushing, working hard against that tripod, getting a little bit of help from Spunky. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh tripod, Abby Normal, Firestarter, and Paul Berry are still working really, really hard on Astronauty. Meat Shield Mike finding space on the outside, gets lead. Passes off to Julio or Fat Jammer. Fat Jammer has put on the star. Gives a nice jiggle to his bench, let everybody know why he is who he is. That's 4 points for the Zombies, bringing their score to 64. Next on the line, we have Jackpot versus Havoc. Oh, looks like we're going to get an official timeout before any of that happens. Never mind. Everybody just back it up. Rewind that. Pocket deciding to show everybody how to strut out there. Let's see you strut, Pocket. There we go. All right. Looks like the refs are set to continue. Okay. Oh, it looks like the officials may have consulted with one another. It looks like Meat Shield Mike's getting put in the box after the fact for a track cut. I believe that was not an official review. That was just done by the officials themselves. So there was no use of an official review. Jackpot threw pretty quickly on that initial pass of this power jam. Pittsburgh cycling up to the front. Jackpot with a nice little dip around the outside of the Pittsburgh tripod. They're taking Hawk as a goat here, trying to make sure that Jackpot's only going to go up against these three blockers. Well, Jackpot's finding it a little bit harder this time around to go and score those points. Rad coming back with a run back. Shield Mike released from the box and is out on his initial pass. Jackpot calling it off urgently with emphasis. Looks like Jackpot gets a total of 8 points out of that jam, closing up the lead a little bit. Zombie 64, Flower City 50. We have Avasaurus Rex against Astronauty this time. Astro getting some help from Julio. That tripod cycling around quickly, though, trying to make sure that they keep moving. Not letting Astronauty get all of that space that he wants. Locking down hard. Also locking down hard is the Flower City four wall back there. They're playing a lot of defense, getting some offensive help from Forrest. Astronauty pushes Captain and Hebrew out of play to the front, getting lead jammer. Ava out quickly behind. Nice. Flower City playing some quick offense to try to grab some easy points. Forest deciding not to make it easy to get that last point, limiting them to 3. We have Pittsburgh 64, Flower City 53. Stepping to the line this time, we have El Pollo Loco versus Havoc. Both teams decide to kind of float in the middle of the straight area instead of bunching on the jammer start line like they had been doing. Maybe a little bit of change of strategy by one of these teams. Other team reacting. El Pollo Loco finding some heavy defense against Paul. Good hit out by Abby Normal, running Pollo Loco back. Meanwhile, King Killa not making things easy for Havoc. Both jammers working hard against these tough defenses. Ammunition running back Havoc while El Pollo Loco gets out for lead. El Pollo Loco in for his scoring pass, gets hit out by Paul Barrier and run back by Firestarter. Both teams putting some aggressive offensive help out there. Looks like we have a star pass to Firestarter. Putting on the star. Firestarter finding some tough defense from King Killa. And ammunition also bringing some defense to the battle. Firestarter out on the initial pass for Pittsburgh. Pollo Loco getting some help from King Killa. That looked like a dance move. I'm sure you practiced that in the ballroom. That jam comes to an end. Flower City looks like they had 12 points on that jam. Big jam for El Pollo Loco that time. It's a lead change by 1 point, 64 Pittsburgh, 65 Flower City. Looks like we're getting a team timeout for Pittsburgh. We have Hawk trying to get all the demons out. I don't think they're going to get out there, Hawk. I think there's too many of them in there, and they're just decided they're going to live there forever. That ends our timeout. We've got Meat Shield Mike up against Astronauty again. This matchup we've seen quite a few times. Meat Shield Mike dancing back and forth, trying to find a space. Getting a little bit. Hawk with a hit out and run back on Astronauty. Astronauty plunging straight into a tripod while Hawk moves forward to try to give Meat Shield Mike a little bit of help. Meat Shield Mike pushing hard, really hard, with all of his might. Hawk being sent to the penalty box and thanking the ref for it. Meat Shield Mike out on his initial pass, lead jammer. Oh, with a nice smooth jump. Oh, and Meat Shield Mike decides to hold the call off for a little while, perhaps trying to kill some of that penalty that Hawk is sitting. He does come away with 4 points and takes the lead back. It is 68 to 65, 3 point lead for Pittsburgh. Back and forth and back and forth. I hope you guys have been refilling your beverages. You know how those lead changes go. We've had a lot of them here, so keep that bottle full or whatever it is that you're drinking. We have Forrest Bump with the star for the first time versus King Killa for the first time. Wow, everybody decided to have a little bit of fun here. Just give the star to anybody who hasn't jammed yet. Here we go. King Killa working hard, getting hit with a nice hit out by Hebrew Jammer. Meanwhile, Forrest jumping out to the front, getting lead. Perhaps getting lead. The scoreboard is requesting an official timeout, so we'll have a little pause in the action here. For any of you that are in the building here, they do have a full bar, the Pisa Pub up here. It is upstairs on the second level. If you would like to have yourself a beverage, it is right over here. I'm sure they would like it if you would uh, patronize their establishment. All right, that whistle ends our timeout. We have Astronauty versus Avasaurus Rex. Another tight scrum here. Both walls smashing into each other a little bit. There's a little bit of mixing happening in here. Looks like we have a hit up from the hammer on Avasaurus Rex. Ava trying to use some skating, dancing around, keep keep all the feet moving, the wheels moving. Meanwhile, Astronauty trying to find some space on the outside, finding two to beat. Firestarter trying to hang in there with Spunky. Spunky and Firestarter on a 2-on-1. Finally driving them out of play. Astronauty out. Astronauty is your lead jammer. Gets through for an easy 4 points on that inside line. Meanwhile, Ava still struggling in this very, very beefy Flower City wall. Giving her some struggles here. Astronauty out for another 4 points. Looks like Spunky is going to be sent away to the box. Meanwhile, Astronauty coming through for another 4 points. Avasaurus getting out on her initial pass. Astronauty deciding to call it. Freezing the blocker in the box. It looks like Flower City will start with a blocker advantage. Team timeout, Pittsburgh. That was a 12-0 jam by Flower City, a big one. And, as it so happens, another lead change. All right, looks like our timeout's over. Jam is on. We have Hebrew Jammer up again versus El Pollo Loco. Everybody loves to see Hebrew Jam. Let's hear it for Hebrew Jammer. Come on, folks. Woo! Hebrew Jammer! Yes, that's right. Look at your cheers give him power. Oh, Hebrew Jammer pushes King Killa and Oxenfree out to the top to get lead. Oxenfree taking a very quick star pass. Slick going out there, getting out on the initial pass. Hebrew Jammer calling it off. Looks like we have 2 points going up for. Nope, 3 points for Flower. Nope, 2 points each. 3 points. 3 points for Pittsburgh. We'll keep pushing the buttons up and down until the score gets up there. All right. All right. So that was, in the end, it was 3 points for Pittsburgh and 2 points for Flower City. We have Meat Shield Mike versus Jackpot. Jackpot showing those fast feet, dancing around. Not finding the space, though. Meat Shield Mike, meanwhile, trying to push hard against Fat Jammer, pushes out of play, gets lead jam. Jackpot, however, stuck in the back, facing a really tough tracking from Hawk. Fighting through up against Captain Crush. Looks like we have a star pass to Fat Jammer. Meat Shield Mike trying through, fighting through that wall. Urgently calling it off as he spins and twirls his way to the points and then onto the floor. Looks like Mike was able to pick up 4 points on that jam, closing the gap. Pittsburgh 75, Flower City 79. This time we have Astronauti versus Avasaurus Rex. Astronauti going out and managing to establish lead. Got caught up a little bit by Hebrew, but Hebrew had to let him go because it was out of play. Ava still fighting for initial pass. Dancing against King Killa and Shram. Getting a little help from Firestarter. Dances down the line. Ammunition was unable to contain her. She is out on her initial pass. Meanwhile, Astronauti working to score points, not finding it very easy versus this tripod. Paul Barrier with a big hit out. Meanwhile, tripod switching up a little bit. Oh, looks like Avasaurus is going to the box for a track cut. They're giving a power jam to Astronauti. Astro going up and grabbing some points there. Looks like he was able to grab all four. Ava's still in the box, standing, so it looks like there'll be a short power start for Flower City. We've got Dick Move on the line for this power jam. Flower City crowding Pittsburgh up to the pivot line. The jam pack starts in motion. Oh, looks like Dick Move is going to get sent to the box on a forearm penalty, which means Ava is going to enter the track with the ability to get lead. Ava telling her teammates what she'd like to see happen here. The hammer with a hit out and run back on Ava. Another one. Ava's still working hard. The hammer giving a lot of one-on-one trouble to Ava. Dick move released from the box. On not eligible to get lead jammer, however, because he got the penalty in this jam. So theoretically, Ava could still get lead. Dick move out on his initial pass. Ava still working on hers. Dick move meeting a tough wall of Rad, Spunky, and Thorn. Uncle Rad to the rescue here with the hit out and run back. Dick move still facing against Uncle Rad, one to beat. Ava, he's out for 4 points, getting the first points of the jam so far. Ava's still stuck, looking for that space, finds the space, is technically granted lead jammer, and calls it off. Flower City picking up 2 more points at the end of that jam, extending their lead. Pittsburgh 75, Flower City 93. I think 18 points has been the highest lead of the jam. I think Pittsburgh had an 18-point lead earlier in the game. And I think this may be the biggest lead of the game. Meat Shield Mike establishes lead after getting past Ammunition at the front of the pack. Meanwhile, a Pollo Loco jamming, getting a tough 4-wall back here. Forest Bump, Captain Crush, and Hawk doing some work. Oh, there looks like there's a star pass to Jackpot, but he doesn't get away cleanly. Is gonna have to continue to fight through the rest of this pack. Meanwhile, Meat Shield Mike gets sent to the box on a track cut. Jackpot working hard against this quick scrambly wall. Everybody scrambling up. Looks like Forrest Bump is getting sent to the box on a penalty. Captain Crush with some good one-on-one work, tracking. The excellent tracking skills. Looks like Hawk will go to the box on a directional call. Meanwhile, Meat Shield Mike released from the box on his way out. Takes a big hit from Ammunition and gets run back. Meanwhile, Hebrew and Captain Crush with some excellent 2-on-1 defense. Look at that. Makes me wonder who taught Captain how to block like that. That's amazing stuff. A jam is called. That was a chaotic one. Lots of stuff happening there. In the end, though, it looks like it was 8-4 jam favoring Pittsburgh. They close it up a little bit, 83 to 97. Guess what, people? Somebody has a star. Remember, your cheers give Hebrew Jammer power. I love you too, buddy. Mhm. All right, that whistle ends the timeout. going up against Hebrew Jammer. Oh, never mind. New timeout. As I was saying, going up against Hebrew Jammer is Astronauty. To be fair, Hebrew, the worst in you isn't that bad. I mean, yeah. All right. Looks like we got another end of another timeout. Hopefully this one is going to stick. Here we go. All right. Astronauty versus Hebrew. Astronauty pushing hard against that tripod to the front, trying to muscle his way through, getting hit out. Both tripods working really hard. Both jammers with a little bit of a struggle here. Ooh, Hebrew taking a big hit from Fat Jammer. Meanwhile, Astronauti having success pushing the Pittsburgh tripod to the front, trying to maximize everything out of that bridge. Meanwhile, Hebrew trying to push everything up to the front. Good pushing battles happening here. Forrest Bump being sent to the box. Astronauti out with lead. Woo! Hebrew Jammer taking another big hit to the infield and getting run back by the hammer. Meanwhile, Astronauti facing embolism out for another 4 points. Oh, Hebrew Jammer taking a big hit. Looks like Rocky's going to get sent to the box on a low block. Meanwhile, Astronauti fighting against this tripod, working the seams, pushing down hard. A lot of that downward action, trying to get somebody to fall down. Nopak has called it freeing Astronauti. Meanwhile, Hebrew Jammer still struggling on his initial pass. The hit out. That jam was a long one, folks. Can tell by everybody walking away tired. For all that effort, Flower City picks up 7 points, making their score 104 to Pittsburgh's 83. Looks like we have an official review requested by Flower City. They were questioning their points? Okay. All right. It looks like it was an official review to question where the points were, and I believe that they were just kind of waiting. It seems that maybe that was not the use of an official review, and we were just waiting for everything to get caught up here. Seems like we're good to go. We're getting the thumbs up from Flay Official. We've got King Killa back out on the line against Avasaurus. Ava finding a quick seam on the outside. Wow, remarkable. How did you see that? I guess you have to be little in order to fit through those tiny spaces. Ava working hard. Kinkilla getting out on the initial pass. Ava working hard to score. Getting help. Listening to her bench, getting the call, and she calls it off for 4 points to Flower City's 0, making their score 87 to Flower City's 108. 4 minutes remain in this game. The score remains pretty close. Looks like we have Forrest Bump taking the star against Dick Move. Dick Move pushing hard against this tripod. Finding a little bit of success throwing his weight around. Is able to slip out and get lead on the inside of turn 1. Meanwhile, quick snap to offense happening. Forrest still working on the initial pass. Oh, nice little dancy hop move on the inside line, getting Forrest the initial pass out. Dick Move goes and grabs those points and calls it off. That's a 0-4 jam in favor of Flower City. Flower City up to 112 to Pittsburgh's 87. On the line now, we have El Pollo Loco versus Avasaurus Rex. Ava being quite the workhorse out here, participating in lots of jams, putting in many minutes. There we go. Looks like we've got a little bit of pack separation and speed happening now. The pack dynamics have changed up quite a bit. Uncle Rad with a big save hit. Rad gets hit out. And that seems to make El Pollo Loco lead. Avasaurus close behind. El Pollo Loco deciding to call it off with each team getting 1 point. It's 88 to 113 in favor of Flower City. At the line again, we have Forrest Bump up against Astronauti. We're hearing calls for Forrest to run. I think Forrest is going to elect to skate instead. Astronauti pushing out to the front of the pack, getting lead jammer. Meanwhile, Forrest still working hard in the back, trying to get through on their initial pass. Astronauti getting a whip from, it looks like the Hammer, able to get through with 4 points. We have Forrest Bump still working on their initial pass. We're seeing a bit of a scrum happen here. It appears that there was a star pass to Hebrew Jammer. Hebrew fighting now to try to get out on this initial pass. Astrobottle, meanwhile, being contained in the back by Paul Barrier, Firestarter, and Captain Crush. Looking for a space on that inside, not finding one, falling down and getting hit out and deciding just to call it off. That is all for the official game time. We have, let's see what the last second points coming in are, but it looks like we have an unofficial score of 88 to 121 favoring Flower City Fear. This was a close game the whole time. Lots of lead changes, very small score differentials. Quite a defensive battle. The score here at the end being quite low. So it's really great to see all that hard work put in by those defensive walls. Nice job. All right. And that whistle will take us to our final score, which is indeed 88 to 121. Thank you, everybody, for coming and watching our bout. Please stick around, or if you're on the stream, stay tuned to watch our home v home game, of which I need to go gear up for. So, bye. It's sorry. If you're worried about the stream, it's actually on the Pittsburgh Roller Derby YouTube channel. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna do MVPs as well. Turn it off. Fixed.
check. Check one. Check. 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 Check one. Check two. Check. Check one. Check two.
Check one, check two. Check one, check two. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check.
Check one. Check two. Three. Blew out your speaker. Check one. Check two.
You blew something out.
Guys, keep checking.
Check, 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 check. Check, check. I love saying check.
Check one. Check two. I don't know why I sound okay, but you don't.
I don't know.
You would.
I have no idea.
Check one. Check two. Check one. Check two. Try again.
Can you turn the volume up on the speaker?
You want me to turn the volume up on the speaker?
Check, 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 check. That's good.
Check one. Check two.
Why did you turn it back down?
What's that?
Turn it up. I'm standing here and can barely hear it. Check, 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 check. Why is there so much feedback? Check, 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 check. I'm coming up.
Check two.
Microphone checker. Eric. Ficka.
Eric. Check one. Check two. Is it that microphone?
Check, 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 check.
Check one. Check two.
Check one, check two. Check, check, check. Turn that down. Hello, hello, hello. This is Jam Burglar. I have some awards.
Doot, doot, doot. Doot, doot, doot. Go Slaughter, go Slaughter. It's your birthday. Get stupid. Go Slaughter, go Slaughter.